Bridgewater suffered some kind of broken finger. Sounds like he's not going to be the guy, and it's looking like Skylar Thompson.
I'm going to take him still.
You're going to take the Dolphins this weekend?
Oh, yeah, I think it's close and low. I think it's like I think it's 14-13. Who do you like? I like the Dolphins close.
I always like the Jets. No pressure
picked them. I picked Miami to get in as a wild card with about 9 wins, 10 wins. So I'm going to go with it.
So you're hoping you're rooting for your earlier bet.
I think this offense does not need a playmaker. Skylar Thompson for a Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yeah. Can win a game.
So here's what Mike McDaniel said about the quarterback situation.
I haven't even thought about playing status. It is about him getting healthy each and every day. And so I can't really even factor him into any sort of equation and until we're ready to broach that, So it's just really a situation of, at this point in the week, Monday and Tuesday in game prep, I'll be preparing for both Skylar and Teddy, and then proceed as the week progresses.
Boy, tough stretch for McDaniel. 5 weeks ago.
Well, last week
Tua was like an MVP. McDaniel was maybe coach of the year.
Well, I think they were missing. Did you look at the injury report?
5 or 6 guys on the
like top
lineup,
guys. Yeah. So last week they just didn't have enough players. Good players.
Yeah. Jets smacked the Dolphins around in their last meeting.
I don't remember that.
And they faced Skylar Thompson. It was like 40-17.
Okay.
Bridgewater got hurt on the first play. Final story. Many thought the Chiefs would take a step back without Tyreek Hill this season, but Patrick Mahomes, he's been MVP worthy. His MVP odds are soaring, Colin. A league-leading 5,048 passing yards, 40 TDs. Chiefs are currently the number 1 seed in the AFC. NFL best, 417 yards per game, 29 points per game. 1 week to go. Looking ahead to the Super Bowl, Fox Bet makes the Chiefs the favorite to win it at all, plus 370. Here are the latest Fox Bet Super Bowl odds. No surprise, at the top of the leaderboard, a couple AFC teams in the Chiefs and Bills, followed by Niners, Eagles, Bengals, Cowboys. That looks, oddly enough, like your Super Bowl bubble, Colin. I think that's exactly your top 5 are who's in your bubble.
It is interesting. Cincinnati never quite gets the respect.
They don't. By the way, I know it was only one drive, but damn, did they look good against the Bills on Monday Night Football. They just went right down the field. I mean,
they don't make a lot of noise. They're in the Midwest. They're not as flashy as Buffalo. They're certainly not Kansas City. They don't have the roster of San Francisco. Nobody respects it. Cincinnati is really, really good. If I said to you, Cincinnati, like every team has a hole. Like Kansas City, sometimes defensively they lack. Buffalo, offensive line. Niners, quarterback. Philadelphia now, O-line, right tackle.
Major injuries to
Dallas, kind of a complimentary piece at quarterback. Could use another receiver. If I said Cincinnati, what's the hole? They could probably use another corner, maybe.
I think their top cornerback went down.
Yeah, they need.
I'll tell you right now, I like their defense over the Chiefs' defense.
Oh yes,
I mean, and
absolutely.
The Bengals DC is calling much better second halves than Spagnuolo and KC. Listen, I think I like Chiefs Niners in the Super Bowl. Are you with me or no?
I like Cincinnati Niners. I don't know.
I don't hate that. Plus 750. Yeah.
I like them.
You put a couple $100 down on that, Cowherd? Maybe buy us a dinner? Maybe use your superpowers to buy me a meal sometime? Jeez.
J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
As a small business owner, or let's say hiring manager, success this year depends on this offense does not need a playmaker. They need a distributor who's durable. And I said, Kirk Cousins, roll your eyes, but Minnesota needs draft capital. Minnesota has hit a wall. Derek Carr. Derek Carr is available. He's played behind some bad O-lines, and you start looking at it and you go, oh, I don't know. But I look at this offense, and I look at San Francisco's. They don't need Josh Allen. That's not what they do. They made Matt Ryan an MVP with this offense. Matt Schaub was a Pro Bowler. If they move off Tua and your options were Carr, maybe a call to Kirk Cousins, Garoppolo, Brady, do you believe there's a favorite in the club? Maybe Daniel Jones with the New York Giants is somebody to think about. Is there in your head, Channing, that's the guy they'd call first?
I was listening on the earlier this segment. You're talking about Kirk Cousins like this guy is something special, Colin. I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan. But you talk about guys that's been in the system and been successful. Jimmy Garoppolo was in the system and successful.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. He's not going to do too much. The Daniel Jones taking off running, the athleticism, I don't think they really
will start the season finale against Dallas, the rookie out of North Carolina. Ron Rivera is going to take a look at what he's got for potentially next year. We all know Carson Wentz is toast.
Yeah. There's another landing spot for a quarterback with a good well, by the way, nice weapons, nice roster, a couple of great draft picks.
I got a buddy who has a friend that's a CFL general manager. That's where Carson Wentz is headed. He's not going to be in the NFL. No way.
J-Mac with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Start with the 49ers and Brock Purdy. What a star. What a story. You got to love this, Colin. The most interesting thing about Purdy, who you compared to Jimmy G earlier, did a good job with that, I should add, is that he was drafted Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the most recent draft. Some might wonder if Purdy believes he should have been drafted earlier. Here's what he had to say.
You look at the last 2 years of my film in college and everything like that. There's some parts in my game where, I had to work and improve on. And so I'm honest and open about that with myself. But there's always been this part of me man, when I'm playing my best football, I know I can play at the next level and, take a team down the field and be the guy on the team to help us win and put points up on the board. But I'm not mad at where I fell or anything like that. It's part of it. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to go and play for the Niners and have a shot at making it.
It illustrates that if you have the right support system, it makes life a lot easier. Take out the Trevor Lawrences, the Andrew Lucks, the John Elways. These are all timers. And maybe Mahomes would have succeeded anywhere. But even Josh Allen was a bit of a mess his rookie year and needed great coaching. By the way, has reverted back to some turnovers. Daniel Jones needed saving. It looks like Brian Daboll has saved Daniel Jones' career.
Wasn't Josh Allen 56% completions at Wyoming?
No, I remember. So I was told he was going to get drafted, and I watched him play, I think it was Iowa and Oregon. He was huge, thin, with a huge arm, ran around, but crazy inaccurate. And I can remember saying, he's either going to be amazing or a total bust.
Yeah.
And after the first year, about 7-8 games in, you were like, wow, he's completing 55% of his throws. It's a mess. But again, Brian Daboll, now we think Josh Allen would have worked to some level regardless. But Daboll was huge. Daniel Jones' career has been saved by Brian Daboll. That's why he'd be my coach of the year.
So when you see that, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo or one of these other quarterbacks, don't you want to go work with Daboll?
Absolutely.
And that's my concern with the Jets. And maybe going back to the Breer thing, maybe you got to give a pick and try to get Carr before he hits the open market.
You don't think the Giants they're not moving off Daniel Jones.
Well, we'll see.
There's no way. They
What do you mean, no way?
Well, I think he almost looks like Eli. He's more mobile. He's a big, strong, sturdy kid from the South. I don't know. I think those owners, the Mara family, look at him and think, hey, it took 4 years with Eli Manning.
Maybe the owners. Yeah, but Eli Manning was wasn't he number one overall pick?
No. Eli's a better. No.
But don't you think Daboll says, man, I raised the level on him. This is the max that we can get out of Daniel Jones. Let's see if we can level up and get a new guy.
Privately? Yeah.
Okay.
But the Mara family told Daboll, we want to make this work. So they're tired of their chaos with coaches and GMs. I think the Mara family would rather come back with Daniel Jones, do this again, playoffs, one and done. I always, my entire NFL media existence since I've been in this business, I've always thought of the Giants as a blue blood franchise.
Giants, Steelers, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're boring. They're the accounting firm of the NFL. Even when they're good, they're boring. I never thought they were a chaos or a mess. And then the last 8-9 years, you're like, they're a circus.
Total disaster.
I think the Mara sense that to their older fan base, because the Yankee fans and the Giant fans in New York always feel older. They've got championships. The Jet fan, the Met fan's a little younger. They don't have the history, a little more outspoken.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I tend to think you're a classic Jets fan.
I hope that's a compliment.
Well, the Giant fans I know tend to be older. And so I think the Mara family wants to get back to what they are. Traditional, not bouncing around on coaches and quarterbacks every 3 years. And I tend to think they're going to go with Daniel.
Just a quick word on Purdy. So he was a 3-star guy coming out of high school.
Yeah.
and he goes to Iowa State, and he was pretty damn good the first 2 years. Matt Campbell, who's a very highly thought of coach in NFL circles, like Purdy was on track to be drafted, but he kind of spiraled the final 2 years, which is why he fell to the seventh round.
Let me ask you. Did he lose a great player? Did he lose?
He had Breece Hall. He had a wide receiver that was drafted by Arizona. I'm spacing on his name. He never became anything. But it for whatever reason.
Did he lose a good coordinator at Iowa State? I don't know. Did he? Sometimes you're a college player. The coordinator at Iowa State gets a head job somewhere, so you lose a coordinator.
The pressure of, hey, I'm an NFL quarterback, got to you, and you're overthinking it.
I don't know.
Let's remember, look at the scenario he's got. You say the 49ers have the best roster in the league. Brock Purdy goes to, Houston tomorrow. Is he anything? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Yeah,
right.
All right, next up. Oh, jeez. I want to thank the producers for getting the Jets in here all the time. Listen, they're looking to play